Thank you. So I'd like to start by congratulating and thanking the Aleksanteri-Instituutti for the wonderful opportunity that they gave me 3 years ago to be a visiting research fellow. And really, your presence here shows by itself the value of that. We really couldn't ask for more in terms of support from the Aleksanteri-Instituutti when we are here as visiting fellows. I was pretty much a typical case. I was here for 2 months in 2014, at the end of the summer, and I was here to effectively write a monograph, a long book, academic book. Now, why? I'll go into a little bit of detail about that so that maybe you have a better understanding, if you're not already familiar, with the kind of work that visiting fellows do. I mean, I come from a British academic background, and at that time, it was very difficult to get blocks of time really to devote to writing. And I know that non-academics think that we have the whole summer, that we do nothing, but that's not really true. Certainly not in the UK. You have a large volume of email correspondence, you still have students hanging around, you have bothersome colleagues to deal with, you have the university administration breathing down your neck for the whole of the summer. So let's just put that myth to bed. Why is it then important then to come here? Because you have physical distance from your home institution. You can turn things off mentally and, of course, electronically, and focus on really significant projects. So for me, that was a book. It was, when I was here in 2 months, I had already planned the book, I had already done the field work that supported the book, but I was able to write approximately 70,000 words in 2 months, which I think is pretty good, actually. I was very pleased with myself. And of course, that's not just for me, but that actually comes back to Aleksanteri, and in my book, and on my CV, and wherever I go, I said, well, if it wasn't for the program, okay, I would have done this, but not in the time scale that actually, in which it actually happened. So that gives you a little bit of detail as to how, for some people, for me, the program worked. So physical distance from my home institution was really, really useful. At the same time, proximity with other like-minded, but perhaps different researchers is another amazing thing about the program. So as Hannah mentioned, probably my research would not be considered mainstream in Russian studies, in sociology, but when I was here at the same time as other fellows. And I met 3 or 4 fellows with whom I would not naturally have a research relationship or a research conversation. But our proximity in the Aleksanteri-Instituutti meant that we had lunch, we had coffee, and real lasting research relationships developed from that. And I have research relationships, professional relationships with 2 of these fellows to this day that have turned into more publications, really substantive conversations, and co-writing about Russia. So both physical distance and proximity are 2 great things about the scheme. One final comment that I will make about the value of the fellowship scheme is the international, the global visibility that it provides for area studies. Okay, and I know that a lot of individual fellows would call themselves primarily political scientists, sociologists, anthropologists, historians, whatever. That's fine. But really, Aleksanteri flies the flag for a globalized vision of area studies, the study of Russia and the former Soviet Union, not only in Europe, but globally. People who have come here as visiting fellows take that away with them and grow the recognition of Aleksanteri. Everybody knows about this scheme, which is great, but they also know about the value that it gives to justifying the continuing study of regions, if we want to call Russia and the former Soviet Union a region, in the contemporary globalized world. And therefore, I would really, really like to thank and congratulate the Institute again on this Jubilee year. Thank you.